But that's not just the thing though. I can honestly and tell you very well right now, honestly, that it was majorly lack of accountability and lack of a solid goal. I knew what it would take to get Diagourmand off the ground. The scope of my own dreams scared me, and the amount of work needed scared me. And I was also inherently lazy. You may not know this about me, but I am lazy. Doing that amount of work, not just filming. Filming, I can do. I can step in front of the camera, lights, camera, action, and boom, I can spring to life. The other one, though, that comes before it, the setup of the camera and lighting, the takedown of the cameras and lighting, the cooking, the cleaning. It's not small beans to do a cooking show if you don't have a team. You got to cook it, you got to clean it, and then you got to edit all that work from multiple camera angles. This is not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of drive to continue to put in that effort. It was simply something I did not have at that time. So when I finally got help for my mental illness, I was able to get out of my own way enough to be able to be more accountable and to be able to, and part of that accountability was now to start ingesting and imbibing as much knowledge as I could about helping myself. You know, having that paradigm shift, I needed to lay down a new highway for me to have my drive on. And that's when I started to come across channels like, that spoke about Stoicism and channels that spoke about philosophies of life. And that's how I stumbled on Earl Nightingale. I realized as he spoke that one of the biggest and solid things that were missing for me was goals. This is not the first time I have heard this. For a man from 1950s to be saying the same thing as James Clear was saying in Atomic Habits tells you that this is a solid thing. This is a solid human principle. You got to have goals. You got to be able to execute them. If you cannot execute your goals, it's just a wish. Your goals are something that takes you from point A to point B. Once upon a time, I was very lost. I had completely lost my way in life. I knew something how to change, but I didn't know how to get to it. But I did know that it was me. It was me. I knew that. And I wanted the formula on how to get out of my own way. And I had a very good friend at that time who I wanted dearly to become a romantic interest. But unfortunately, it was not happening because I told you, your girl is crazy. I've been battling mental illness issues for a long time. And people could, even though I couldn't clearly see how bad it was, I knew it was bad. But other people could see it for exactly how horrible it was. They could look at this one and say, oh, we're really late. So he couldn't become a romantic interest. But he did try in his best way to mentor me. Like I said, I wanted to get out of my own way. And I really admired this man. And I begged him, show me the way. And I knew the right questions to ask at that time. Like I said, I knew the problem was me. I knew what I had to do. I just didn't know how to get out of my own way and do it. But I still knew to ask the right questions. And I asked him and I said, how did you become where you are? How did you become who you are? And by the way, he is a pillar of our community. He is a leader. He's a very successful lawyer, successful businessman. So I said, how did you accomplish this? How did you accomplish your goals? And he wanted to really give me the information. He didn't want to answer me offhandedly, He really wanted to help. So he said, let me go and think about it. Let me put my thoughts together. And then I will let you know. This beautiful, beautiful man wrote me an email. Before there ever was a James Clear with Atomic Habits, I'm going to tell you about what this man had to say from 12 years ago. As for my thoughts on accomplishing goals, here's what I have learned. All goals must be in writing and have realistic deadlines. All goals must be a bit more grand than you think you can accomplish. Accountability is the salient key to making goals a reality. The goals should involve small steps that allow you to progress without being overwhelmed. The goals should involve something that you love and are passionate about, as well as being good at it. Discipline is a critical key in achieving what you desire. Discipline means that every day on a regular basis, X is done and checked off your master list. Once you create and use a master daily checklist, and you should literally check off what you have done each time you do it, so you can visualize and intellectually realize your progress. It takes time and major, if not profound, effort to succeed at anything important. It means sacrifice and giving up of other things you might want to do or like. It takes a strong will to succeed. One that will not take no for an answer, and yet one must have a mind that is flexible and can move around immovable objects. If the goal is a business, proper funding is a must. Almost all businesses fail because they are not adequately funded initially. So that is what this wonderful, beautiful person had to say to me 12 years ago. I printed it out and put it in front of my mirror, and I tried to follow it. But again, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to plant this beautiful seed in my mind. And I failed over and over and over again. The video you're watching was filmed 3 years ago, and even 4 years ago, I might even say. And I did nothing with it because I wasn't ready. And then when I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of everything, myself, the direction of my life, and so many things, especially when these words shook me like it shook me to the core, which was to ask yourself this question: what experiences do you want to have on your journey towards death? Life is not endless. You do have an expiration date. So what is it you want? I want my passion to be real. I want to realize Diagourmand. I want to do this thing that has been on my mind for years. I see it, I imagine it, I dream it. It is a vocation. I realized that, okay, I am now ready. I'm ready. I went to raise up Mark's words from the graveyard of emails and look at it and read it and let it sink in. I have long since realized that when it comes to goals, I have to make small steps to accomplish them. Not only small steps, but small and consistent steps. I gotta keep showing up every day. Also, one of the things I remind myself from Mark's words is it takes time and major, if not profound, effort to succeed at anything important. It means sacrifice and giving up of other things you might want to do or like. Out of everything he has to say, that one plays as the soundtrack to my mind all day, every day. Once I start to feel overwhelmed, once I start to feel inadequate, once I start to feel kind of small in the face of what needs to be done and how it's still only me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm at the point now where I can get out of my own way, which includes hiring an editor, delegating, So the tedium of editing, I hired someone. That doesn't mean that all the burdens have been taken away from me. I still have quite a bit of them. But when those burdens start to weigh down on me on how much I still have to do, how long of a way I have to go, I remind myself, little by little, one step in front of the other. Just be consistent. Just keep showing up. Just keep building atomic habits. And those atomic habits, day in, day out, will now form the framework, the groundwork the building, whatever you want to call it, will now form this thing you've been chasing for years called discipline. Discipline doesn't show up by itself. It shows up when you show up, and you show up daily and you show up consistently. One of the things that was a source of unhappiness for me was the fact that I knew that I just wasn't doing enough. So there's this part of depression that people don't want to face. You're not depressed because you're doing too much. You're depressed because you're not doing enough to light or maintain the spark within you. The source of your anxiety is not because something is trying to force its way into you. It's because something is trying to force its way out. Your passion, your purpose. We gotta take accountability for our purpose. Knowing that you are failing yourself because you're not living your purpose, you're not realizing your dream, is a burden that causes major depression and grief. You feel like you are living your life with a silent scream. One of the things I want to use my channel for is to help those of us that are struggling to realize that I know how you feel. I have been there, I have lived it, and I know that change is possible. And the way to make that change possible is just one step at a time. This life is not about perfection, it's about progress. For whatever it is that you're building, keep putting one brick on top of each other. Before you know it, you have this thing that you have built from the ground. We get to choose our pain. There is pain involved in the realization of our dreams. But that is a pain I want. I don't want the other pain of dreaming this thing away till the end of my life. I don't want the pain of regret of knowing that I did nothing with it. I'll prefer the pain of showing up every day, no matter how inconvenient it is. I wish you direction for your goals. I wish you drive so that you can continue to direct those goals. And I wish you dedication so that you can continue to discipline yourself to stay on that drive. This is where I will truly say I love you all, because I know the suffering of just being human. And because of that, I'm not going to be flippant and joke and be frivolous as I usually say. I hate some of y'all. We are truly united in love. Thank you very much. I do not take your views for granted. And you stop by, you watch my videos, you comment, you interact with it, you share with your friends, and you subscribe. How can I not be grateful? I am truly thankful. You guys move me. Each time I see a subscription, I am deeply moved. And I will continue to say thank you. Each time that I see that you viewed it, I am deeply moved. And I'll continue to say thank you. I am deeply grateful because you guys make this channel. One of the intentions of this channel is to use me as background noise. Or you can listen to me intentionally. When I show up in my void form, I have something to say. And I hope that these words help you as they have helped me. And I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.